How can I change the world when I'm working on trying to change myself? That may be a thought that comes to a lot of people's minds. It definitely comes to mind. There's a lot of times when we kind of think about why it all happened. Why is it happening to me? You can take all the courses you want to in school. I know personally I've been in college for about a decade now. And in my mid-30s, I'm realizing that my body's been through a lot of pain. And in that realization, I come to grips with, how can I accept what I've been through and where I'm going? Aside from my faith and what I believe, putting that aside makes me think how hard it's been dealing with symptoms physically, psychologically that I have to go through. A lot of people, Robin Williams, Chester Bennington, a lot of people throughout history died to suicide because they found out something was happening to them on the inside that affected them in ways that you can only describe on the outside, but no one really knows what it's like on the inside. For me, it's the pain I feel in my chest. It's not anxiety. No. And depression can cause that, but unlikely to have a physical pain from depression. I deal with neurological problems. Doctors haven't been able to quite figure out or diagnose me, and I think about what I went through growing up, how I treated my body in my 20s, and here I am at 35 years old, reflecting on that. I'm not as healthy as I want to be, but it doesn't stop me. I feel empowered to do better because I want to help other people. People who, when they close the door, they don't let those feelings out. They bottle them up. When they bottle them up, they blame themselves. They don't blame other people, they blame themselves. That's how you know how to separate the physical pain from the psychological pain. Because psychological pain a lot of times will mislead you, like your heart. Physical pain is a constant reminder of, this is not how you used to be, and you don't feel good. January will be 1 year I've had my gallbladder taken out, and for years I've been dealing with pain in my left side, left ribs. Deal with these heart palpitations, flutters. Some days are good days, other days are bad days. I know it's not anxiety. In fact, most of the time my heart rate is normal. It don't even get over 80 beats a minute. It stays between 60 and 80 beats a minute. My blood pressure will still be normal, around 120/80. It's not anxiety. I've taken the medications. I've taken the pain medicine. I have what's called a Curie malformation. I found out when I was about 21, 22 years old. That was roughly 15, 16 years ago. I was told that over time it may get worse. I have degenerative disc disease in my back, my spine, my neck. When I was in my 20s, I was a bodybuilder, welterweight, middleweight, light heavyweight at times. I didn't take steroids. It was all natural, but I ate. When I say I ate, man, I ate everything you can imagine. Breakfast was sometimes Hardee's or Checkers if you've ever been to one. 2 for $4, 2 for $5 special, mushroom and Swiss burgers, Baconators, golly, Frisco sandwiches. And I'd probably eat about 4 or 5 burgers sometimes. Or maybe McDonald's, sausage and egg cheese wraps. I'd eat about 8 of those. Drink some 32 ounce of orange juice. A couple apple pies to go with it. Lunchtime was usually Golden Corral or Cece's Pizza or local grocery store. Golden Corral, I'd eat about 11 or 12 plates. Cece's Pizza, I would eat about 9 or 10 plates worth of food. And then dinner time usually rolled around. I'd eat everything in sight. Usually a mix of lots of fruits and veggies. I'd have a big plate of bratwurst, sausage, a lot of processed stuff, obviously. Peppers, onions, love mushrooms. I just really eat as much as I could. I was eating close to 5,000-6,000 calories a day, and I kept track of it. It was hard for me to maintain weight because at the time gas prices were about $5 a gallon. You know, we're talking from 2005 to 2011, and gas was so high, so expensive, no one really wanted to drive around. And being I always lived close to the beach during that time, I biked. I did roughly 60 to 80 miles a day. I literally rode my bike everywhere. And I would surf in the mornings a lot of times, right after I would teach my boot camp classes or as a fitness instructor or train some clients. I'd go out and go surfing, go to class, go to work, maybe go surfing, play beach volleyball, play volleyball at one of the local vendors. And then I'd go to the gym 2 to 3 hours on top of training my clients that I had as a personal trainer. Or when I was working in restaurants, I also worked in restaurants during that time as well. Bar backing, bartending, working in the kitchen. I'd eat every time I got a chance. I'd be shoveling my face. And I was good. I was good looking. But I was also very adventurous, very reckless. Didn't think about the car accident I got into when I was 17. When I got in a head-on collision, I was a driver. My face went to the brake pedal. How that would impact me over time. The degenerative disc disease, the Curie malformation. It wasn't until I was 28 years old. 28 years old. I got into another car accident. I've been in 11 motor vehicle accidents. I've had at least a dozen concussions from a lot of those accidents and fights I got into growing up. I was a punk rocker growing up. Got into a lot of fights, did a lot of mosh pits, skateboarded for over 15 years. Then BMX here and there. Very adventurous. 28 years old, I got into a car accident. A girl texted and driving me. Hit me driver's side of my Jeep while I was sitting at a stoplight intersection. 2 weeks later, I started having these heart palpitations all the time. Was told I had costochoroiditis, chest wall pain, inflammation. I had PTSD for a while there. Took till the time I was about 33 for the PTSD to go away. 32, 33. I got my degree in counseling psychology through Toccoa Falls College, and thought that would help me with my own problems. Growing up as a teenager, I was also a troubled adolescence teen, broken home, not a healthy environment at all. I did a lot of drugs, alcohol, OD'd 3 times between drugs and alcohol before I was 21. Well, I say I overdosed. I did. There was a couple times that thankfully I didn't go brain dead from it. I've been sober. I've had no more than 3 alcoholic beverages at one time since August 8th of 2015. wow, it's been a really long time. I haven't had an alcoholic or non-alcoholic beverage more than a full beer in almost over a year and a half. I'm afraid to not be in control. I like having control of my mind, my body. Psychologically, I do. Physically, I'm afraid of what may happen if I don't stay in control, if I lose control. It's not my purpose to explain my story or my testimony. It's really my goal and initiative to advocate for people who've been through physical trauma and how it affects them psychologically. I was automotive and diesel tech for 15 years, aside from my other careers. Not really careers, but hobbies. It was mostly like the fitness job, and then bartending, bar back, and working in kitchens on the side. But I've always been passionate about fixing automotive vehicles, diesel, gasoline. Taught diesel mechanics shortly, not too long ago. I've owned my own business multiple times. Did well with it. I miss it a lot, but physically I can't do the work anymore because the pain I feel in my body is just sometimes relentless. It hurts. Doctors tell me all my blood work always looks good. Neurologically, there's no tumors or anything, but I do have pinched nerves in my neck. I have bulging discs, C5, C6, Curie malformation protruding on my spinal cord, C1, C2. Last time it was measured about a year ago, it was about 14 millimeters in diameter. I know a Curie malformation leads to neurological problems over time. I don't want to have the surgery. I've seen neurosurgeon, several of them, multiple times. It wasn't that bothered me. It was when I heard the patients who had similar issues like I have, how they've had to have multiple surgeries following it. I'm afraid that my body just can't handle it. If I didn't have the heart palpitations so much, maybe I'd feel more comfortable with it, but I'm afraid my body can't handle it. So I try to manage the pain. My psychological health is very important to me. That's why I'm studying to be a clinical counselor in mental health currently. But what I want to do is something different. I want to help people. I want to help people on a level that statistics can't show. That we need so much research, intervention surveys, and assessments that none of it will ever give us a definitive answer. And for those counselors and psychologists, and psychiatrists, and clinicians out there, even neurologists, neurodiagnostic, and diodiverse clinicians out there, as you could put it, medical professionals, primary care, whatever it may be. Nobody talks about it the way I can talk about it. This is just part one of this video. If it captured your attention, I'd like you to continue to listen to the next part of it. Thank you.